Welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittney Bundles. In today's video, I'm going to be going over what to do if you send out a package and you realize that you sent the package to the wrong address. I'm going to be using examples from my experience working with different people in the hair industry, as well as running my own business. I've had a hair business since 2013 by the name of badchickhair.com. I do offer hair extensions on that website. I offer drop shipping options. So if you are interested in getting started with your own hair business or switching vendors or getting a backup vendor, I offer drop shipping options where you can drop ship your extensions through me. I also offer wholesale options where you can purchase your wholesale extensions in bulk. I created an ebook a few years back going over how to upscale your hair business, and I also have tons of other business services, including my new credit repair service. I have years of experience in the financial industry as a loan officer, and so I brought that service to my platform as well. So if you're interested in credit repair, check out badchickhair.com. The link is down below, or keepingupwithbrittney.com for more information. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and apologize for the angle of this video. I know it's not the best. However, I'm wanting to, like I mentioned before, get as much information as I can out to you, and I have to take advantage of the moment. Time is definitely of the essence, and you know, me trying to do everything that I need to do each day. I need to make sure that I'm capitalizing on each opportunity that I get to record. And so I get an opportunity now to record where it's quiet. I don't really love the scenery that I'm recording at, or you know, the scenery that's around me, but we're gonna rock with it. So if you are interested in knowing what to do if you send packages or a package to the wrong address, stay tuned. Be sure to give the video a big thumbs up. Please make sure that you are subscribed, and let's get right into it. So first thing that I want to say is, you may be wondering, you know, what do you mean send a package to the wrong address? Well, none of us are perfect. None of us are robots, and even robots, computer systems, and whatever other gadgets you can think of make mistakes, right? So there may be a time where you are sending out orders and you send, let's say you send 3 bundles to a certain address because you transpose the number. Let's say the address is 123 Main Street and you put 126 Main Street. That can happen for different reasons. Maybe the customer typed in the wrong address. This is what happened in my situation. A customer typed in the wrong address. They transposed the number. I didn't know that it was the wrong address, so I sent out the order to the address that was listed on the order. I have confirmation for that. They were able to see it, track the package and everything like that. And it wasn't until later on that day that they realized that they transposed the number. Some other instances have been customers moving and then forgetting to put in their new address. They're putting in their old address, and so the package goes to their old address because they forgot to put in their new address. So those are some examples of how a business owner, how your company can get someone's wrong address and send the package to an address that the customer didn't intend the package to go to. Now, of course, this is not your fault, because you're using the address that was in the system. However, it's still something that you may want to know how to work through. Something else that I want to bring up. What if another scenario that could happen is if you transpose a number. So let's say that you're not operating through an e-commerce platform or website, and someone gives you their address and you hear it wrong. Like you hear it wrong over the phone, or they write it down for you and you can't tell the difference between their 6 and 0, and so you may think that it's 206 something street where it's actually supposed to be 200 something street. I mean, there's just a lot of scenarios that can happen that could cause you to send the package to the wrong address. If that happens, I'm going to go over the steps that you want to take to work toward a resolution. So first thing, once the order is already placed, once you already have sent out the package and you get a inquiry from that customer that, hey, you know, you sent the package to the wrong address, or hey, I no longer live there, or let's say that you just remember, oh crap, like I sent this address to this customer and it should have gone to this customer. You want to make sure that you are being able to be really prompt and confident in your response. So we're not really going to focus on responses, because responses can be tailored based on, I mean, they're going to be different based on the scenario, but the processes this process could work for all of the different examples that I just went over. So the first thing you want to do is contact the mail carrier immediately. Let's say that you sent the package through the post office. The post office doesn't automatically immediately send out all packages. They have different times where packages go out. They have a whole process behind that. So if you just left the post office, or even if it's been an hour since you left the post office, the first thing you want to do is contact that mail carrier. Even if you can go back to the post office, see if you can speak with the person you were just working with, because in my experience, calling customer service, sometimes it can be a very tedious task. I mean, you sit on hold for a long time. It could be difficult to speak to a live agent. You get with someone, they may say, hey, you're in the wrong department, transfer you someplace else. You have to hold, and it's just wasting time. If you can get back down there and it's not going to be too far, like I know when I go mail out orders, the post office I typically go to, it's less than 10 to 15 minutes from where I stay. So it's not that hard for me to actually, just go right back down there, wait in line if they have a line, and see if I can speak with that individual that helped me, the customer service representative at the post office. Also keep your receipt. That way it's going to help, because they're a lot of times they're dealing with a lot of people, and even if they remember you, they may not remember your package, where the package is at, was it priority, was it not. So contact that mail carrier, go back to the mail carrier if you can, see what you can do to correct the mistake. The next thing that I recommend doing is make it right with the customer. So that's where that's where you can put in the making sure that you contact them and let them know what's going on, and that you phrase your response in a way that correlates to their specific situation. And then also, if it was a mistake on my behalf, like say that I transposed the number, which I've never done, thank God. But let's say that I said, I made a mistake, because I've made mistakes in business. I always feel compelled to fix it, to make it right. I always say to people that I'm mentoring as well, it's not about who can make no mistakes. It's about who can fix the mistakes that they make, because mistakes are going to come. Now, although I never had a mistake like this, there's still other mistakes that I've had to navigate through. What I would recommend doing if you make a mistake and send the package to the wrong address is sending out another order to the correct address, because it wasn't their mistake. And then you can still work with the postal service, or you can still work with the postal service and on the back end to try to retrieve that package that went to the wrong address, but it shouldn't have a negative impact on the person that actually placed their order, paid for their order, and is expecting their order. It wasn't their fault. So I would send an order to the correct address. Now, if it's something where the customer gave me the wrong address, they typed in the wrong address, I wouldn't go that route, more than likely, just because it's not a mistake on the company, but I would still work to get that package delivered to them or rerouted to them if I can. So the first step, when I mentioned contact the mail carrier, those are some discussions and options you can go over with them, pretty much seeing what they can offer based on that package. The next thing that I want to go over is reach out to your customer and advise them of the shipping delay, if it's going to delay shipping. So let's say you call the post office and they say, hey, that the package was already shipped out. We can go ahead and reroute the package to the correct address, but it's going to cause a delay in shipping. So instead of them getting the package on Friday, they're not going to get the package until Tuesday. I would reach out to the customer and let them know what to expect. And if you're nervous to do that, I would think that the customer would be appreciative for you doing that, especially if they put in the wrong address and they know that you're fighting on their behalf to correct an error that they did. People are going to be happy with that, and that's something that people are going to remember. While this company didn't have to, but they took the extra time to work on my behalf to get the package delivered to the right, rerouted to my correct address, and then also they reached back out and let me know what to expect. Setting the proper expectations is very professional, and it is, in my opinion, it's just a given with my company. I'm going to set the right expectation because it makes communication so much more seamless on both sides, and it also helps to build and strengthen that relationship, because again, like I've said in some other videos, I don't advise people or coach people to work on just getting the sale and that's it, but I advise and I coach toward a more relational approach so that you can continue to have repeat customers and clients and actually grow your business, not always getting new customers, but getting new customers, being able to retain those customers sharing their good experiences, bringing other customers in the process continuing to repeat itself instead of just getting new customers, that's it, getting new customer, that's it, you know what I mean? The next thing that I want to go over is, let's say that the package has already been delivered to the wrong address and there's nothing the post office can do. They're not going to go back and retrieve that package. You didn't have any insurance on the package. Even if you did, the post office is going to go off of what they were told, where they were told to deliver the package, even if it was wrong. And so at this point, you have another option, which is reaching out to the homeowners, whoever owned that home. So if you send it to 260 Main Street and it's supposed to go to 206 Main Street, writing a letter, sending a postcard asking if they can return the package. Now, this is not a guarantee. They don't really have to, but just asking if you send a return label, if they can send the package back. You may be surprised what answer you get. Some people will definitely do it, others won't, but you won't know unless you ask. So that would be the next point. My next piece of advice is to try to get in contact with whoever owns that home. Do it legally. Look at the laws in your state. Make sure that you're not going and placing any letter in someone's mailbox, because that could be illegal. I believe, I was gonna say in some states, but I believe that's just whatever. Just make sure that I don't want to get too far into legalities, but do things ethically, legally, but figure out what you can do to try and get in touch with that homeowner to see if you can get your package back. And then the last tip that I have is learn from your mistake. So if that means that you need to put in another process where you're double checking the address, I would do that. I went over this in another video to cut down on fraud. If I'm seeing an address that doesn't correlate with the payment address, a lot of times I'm going to ask additional questions. I'm going to reach out to that customer before the order is processed. I do have manual payment capture on my website instead of automatic. So instead of my system automatically taking customers' payments, I have a manual payment capture in place. That way I can really go through each order before it's processed completely, it's paid for. And doing that, I can go through and I can check the address. I can check other things with the order. I can make sure that the address is correct. Also, sometimes when people put in their address, you may get a notification through your online store that the address isn't quite right. It's something needs to be fixed with it. So that will also give you an opportunity to reach out, verify the address. Even if everything looks good, if you want to put a process in place, there's nothing wrong with double checking the orders. Better safe than sorry. It's always my motto. If you have the time to go back and check your orders, I would do that, making sure that you confirm the orders with your customers before you send them out or before you process their payment. Just going over, making sure that the number that they put on the order is correct, the email address is correct. That way they're going to receive the tracking information and all your correspondence. Making sure that the address that the package is being shipped to is an up-to-date and current address. So those are processes that you can definitely implement, learning from your mistake if you do send out a package, or even if it's not your mistake, if it's a customer's mistake. Like I said in the beginning of the video, no one's perfect. You're going to make some mistake. Maybe you don't make this mistake, but there's going to be some mistake that you make in business. And, it's all about how you handle that mistake, how you move forward, and what you do differently, next time. So I really hope this video helped. Again, I just wanted to go over some things that you can do if you send a package to the wrong address. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos on this channel. If you have any questions or any scenarios that you have come into contact with, be sure to leave them down below if they're interesting, or if you think other people can learn from them, or if you have questions about certain scenarios or certain questions that maybe even one of your customers asked you that you're stumped on. Feel free to leave them under the video. I'll be happy to go over your comments, and I may even create a video on that topic. With that being said, again, I'm going to let you all know if you are wanting to take advantage of any of the services that I offer. I do business consultations, mentoring, I do drop shipping, I have wholesale options, my ebook, anything that I offer. Check out my website, which is badchickhair.com. I also have a Patreon. Currently, I'm doing a 7-day free trial on Patreon. So if you are interested in hearing my girl talks over there, I talk about more lifestyle information and topics and experiences. I have girl talks over there. I do journal prompts. I have different challenges, motivational and inspirational messages. All of that is on my Patreon. So be sure to check out my 7-day free trial, watch some of those videos over there, take a look at some of the journal prompts, challenges, and invite as many as you can over to Patreon. If you are wanting more business information or more down-to-earth business talks, be sure to check out my business playlist right here on YouTube, and also follow my podcast, which is the Brittney Bundles podcast. That link is down below as well. I want to thank you all for watching, and I will talk to you all in the next video. Bye.